Hi, I'm James Fairhurst. I'm the Director of Information Systems and Services for Hastings Direct, UK leading insurance provider. We've doubled our customer base in the last 12 months. We've actually increased our staff by 50% in the last 12 months, and we typically make a new sale every 90 seconds. Key challenge from this has really been around our telephony platform, which obviously is quite an old antiquated platform, which we then decided to go out to tender and ultimately gave that piece of business to Azzurri and Azzurri in partnership to deliver the new integrated platform for us. The key benefits we've actually seen within Hastings Direct have been around the single integrated, one-stop platform, for our business, also to increase our compliance controls and ultimately actually improve our customer satisfaction and customer experience. I think we had three main key challenges or issues within Hastings Direct. They were really around the existing BT Meridian platform was obviously being sort of sunset by them, and that obviously gave us various support issues in terms of trying to get a speedy response on issues. The second issue we actually had was we've actually got a growing concern or risk around things like PCI DSS compliance, and therefore what impact will that have on our existing telephony platform. And the third thing was obviously a lot of the platform components of our telephony system are from different vendors, and therefore trying to gain the efficiencies across those worlds, etc., was obviously a key challenge to us in terms of any new future platform should obviously try and integrate all those aspects together and mitigate the risk of support and the compliance risk. The selection process in Hastings was obviously to look at the current incumbent BT and their call centre 7 newer platform than what we currently have, which is call centre 5 platform. We also looked in the wider market in the sense of who are the main players in that space. Azzurri always stands out as a name in that call centre space. So we basically brought the two of them together to basically pitch a solution to us. We then engaged with Azzurri in the sense of using them as the actual reseller partner on behalf of Azzurri. The key considerations here was to really go with one supplier who could basically deliver the whole entire solution end to end. What we didn't really want is what we currently had, which was basically a mishmash of different platforms built up over many years. We really wanted one platform that basically encompassed the whole call recording, the main sort of PABX functionality, and all the aspects around the actual compliance and regulation we sort of control. And really, Azzurri actually really stood out for us and actually brought that to play, whereas the BT offering seemed to be a bit more along the sort of almost called the Heath Robinson, bits bolted together approach. We found Azzurri's approach very refreshing in the sense that they basically come to us with a real partnership approach. I think that's one of the key things we wanted, was actually work with someone to take us on this journey, rather than someone who just comes in as a supplier, offloads a load of tin, walks away, or configures it, walks away, and then we're left with something that we've got to sort of try and maintain and manage ourselves. The whole aspect from start to finish was very professional. They really engaged really early on with us, helped us actually build the return on investment models that would actually be submitted into the board for board approval of the finances for the project. They basically worked late into the night with us to actually work on those aspects. They sort of then took us through the whole journey in terms of what the various technical aspects of the system were, looking at our growth plans for the business, and then really bring that together to come up with a final technical solution that we then ultimately ordered and have actually installed within Hastings Direct. In terms of help and support, it was one of those real things where all the time our account manager was on site with us pretty much most of the time. We had on-site project managers from Azzurri. They were very professional in their conduct, worked within industry recognised frameworks such as Prince, and that really gave us the comfort in the terms of they really understood even aspects such as risk registers and understood really the risks that we could face or the project could face, rather than sort of almost sort of trying to hide things away. And it was a very open, collaborative approach. In terms of I suppose risk management of the project, then absolutely ultimately they were very accountable in terms of what they were actually delivering for us. We worked very close with them. My project teams and their project teams literally sat around the same desks in the same office. working together on the project pretty much 24/7, in the latter stages of the project, prior to going into implementation. And as you can appreciate, in a call center environment, you can't suffer or sustain any large downtime, and therefore, that collaborative approach was very, very critical in the successful delivery of the project. In terms of solution, we actually agreed. We basically finally settled after the tender process on an Avaya platform or Avaya Aura platform, and actually then engaged also with the Azzurri innovations team to bring together that whole solution as one big package for us, which actually enabled us to then integrate with existing line of business applications that we use within our broking world and our insurer development worlds, and also at the same time ensured that we obviously met all the compliance aspects that we were actually concerned about in terms of the project around things like PCI DSS at the same time. In terms of the Azzurri toolbar with the agent, it really gives them a very, very rich experience where we can actually integrate our own line of business applications in with that agent toolbar as well. So therefore they can see all the details about the customer. So if we're into an outbound scenario, we can see details of the customer and even free and busy information around other agents within the contact centre, bringing it all together so the agent isn't sort of almost lost within their contact centre. They're fully informed of really what their colleagues are doing around them and also how they're actually interacting with the customer. We've actually seen reductions of around about 30 seconds on average handle time between the old system and new system from an agent perspective, purely via that toolbar application. The main key thing with the transition between the old and new system for us was about bringing it across in a very stable, very controlled manner. We were very risk averse in the sense of saying we didn't really want a big bang approach and bring them all across midnight on a Sunday. What we looked at was to say, well, how can we basically bring across groups of users by call centre or non-contact centre users, say like management of the business, and how can we basically build a risk-based approach to that migration. What we chose to do was to link the legacy system to the new Avaya platform, which actually then gave us the ability to then literally bring users across in units of one if we wanted to. And what we then did was we started off by bringing across almost like the non-customer facing staff in the business. So it's basically like our finance department, HR department, IT departments. We brought them across first of all to make sure the raw call handling of the platform worked. We didn't lose calls or there was no quality issues. And then from that, we then started to basically pick some of the lower risk contact centres or the smaller contact centres and bring them across to make sure that everything was okay, really, from a PCI perspective, and also from a the whole regulatory perspective of call recording around that platform. And then as we actually working with Avaya, we obviously gained that confidence to then basically bring across larger contact centres, and then the last contact centres that come across were typically in the sort of 50 to 100 user sort of groups. And we felt comfortable doing that because of the actual success of the project and the risk-based approach and the collaborative way that Azzurri worked with us. What was really good from a user perspective was that actually people didn't really notice the transition. We did a very thorough training exercise with the users, fully supported by Azzurri, and every user went through the training course, which is typically an hour course, on how the agent toolbar worked and also how the actual handset operated. So when they actually went live, it was completely seamless to them, sort of thing. We never saw any uptick in any average handle time for our customers, but also more importantly, sort of thing, we didn't actually have any quality issues from where agents couldn't actually use the equipment properly. In terms of the actual benefits we actually achieved as a business, which actually formed part of the return on investment case, was to have a platform that can actually scale to the demands of our business moving forward. I mean, we've actually grown 50% in terms of headcount in the last year, and therefore we're actually being constrained by the existing platform. There's obviously various concerns around regulation that obviously this solution is actually obviously completely eliminated for us, which is great. One of the key interesting facts we've actually had from this is from a quality management perspective of actually auditing calls through the efficiency of the Avaya platform over the legacy platform. We've got to a point now where we can actually operate the quality management in the business with 50% less staff than we currently had. I think the benefits with the Azzurri solution to us, it actually brings other functionality to play, such as say web chat for our customers, or the ability to interact with other applications around screen popping data. I think the key thing there is that anything we can do to drive a richer experience for our customers, or make it easier for our customers to interact with us, and also make the operation much more effective, is obviously got to be a good thing. I think when we look at the whole contact centre world sort of thing, even our customers, or even our competitors would, will probably actually operate on via platforms. But what actually really makes a difference really with our platform is the actual solution partner we've actually gone with, which is Azzurri, because they really bring that extra piece to the plate. And what we've really seen that in the sense of the whole project delivery aspect has really given us comfort and security around the ongoing relationship we'd actually have with Azzurri as an organisation. In terms of measurable benefit really from the solution so far, is there was obviously elements in the original business case which was around what would the cost be to maintain the existing system versus obviously moving to a new platform. That old legacy system would obviously included an aspect in terms of risk around what is our risk exposure of around regulatory aspects such as PCI DSS compliance, and we said that we couldn't as an organisation take that risk on that in that sense. So from the point of view of the new system, it all stacked up in terms of return on investment, really from almost a like for like basis of old versus new. What we've actually been very pleasantly surprised at through the project is we've actually seen aspects such as our quality management effort reduced by 50%. We've seen other aspects in the contact centre where we're seeing reductions in average handle time of calls coming into the contact centre, because of things like the toolbar are much more efficient to operate than the original toolbar. We're starting to find it's very easy for us to integrate our applications into the toolbar, or even other aspects of the telephony platform, which actually makes the whole contact centre experience a lot more easier for the agent to handle, reduces their operating time, which obviously ultimately reduces cost. In terms of feedback from the users, I mean, I think they're very happy with the actual product. There was a lot of concerns over the old product, certainly from a training perspective. When we trained agents, it took longer to train an agent on the old platform because you had different, a whole myriad of different systems to learn, and obviously there was a big risk around, could agents forget parts of that knowledge? Whereas on the new system, it's all so integrated so well that it's just, to the agent, it's just a phone or it's an application on a screen. In terms of future plans with Azzurri, we're already in discussions around rolling out the identical contact centre platform we've got here today within our sister company at Renew in Newmarket. So that's going to be something in the region of about a 200-seat call centre operation on very similar technology using the agent toolbar and the Avaya Aura platform. We're also looking other aspects in terms of the Avaya offering. What other functionality does it have in there today that we can bring to play? And we're actually also starting to engage parts of our other business units in the business to actually learn about the platform, so they can spot opportunities that they can then bring their business requirements in and understand what that platform can deliver, and therefore we can start to work with Azzurri in partnership to sort of bring in new technologies or customise or configure the platform further.